Welcome to the In My Opinion show with Ronald, Robinson, and friends. Seen on the internet 24 hours, 7 days a week. To view, simply just go to RBRIMO and then go to videos. You'll see our complete catalog. I want to welcome our millions of viewers worldwide, and especially our co-hosts and stars. Miss Denise Smith-Allen.
Hi, Ron. How's everyone?
Good.
Miss Jackie Williams.
Fine. I'm good.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Mr. Henry Hatter.
Thank you, Ron. It's good to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Why are the taxpayers of Michigan paying Governor Rick Snyder's legal bills as it relates to the Flint poison drinking water crisis? I think it's horrible that the taxpayers have to pay his legal bills, all right, when he was part of the problem. Jackie, what are your thoughts?
Well, I just think that it's just really unfair because once again, the person at the top is protected and the rest of the people are pretty much thrown away because he made sure that he had money he moved money out of a fund to make sure he had money to cover his legal fees, and he's exceeded them, so he had to move money again. Where the people of Flint are still waiting for our package from the federal government and from the state because they were supposed to match dollars. And he reduced the amount that he was going to give us, but his amount keep increasing. So it's just really, it's that, take care of myself and I hope you guys are okay mentality. So it's like no remorse of what he's done. I have heard nothing about any criminal charges being charged against him, and first they were bringing all these people in, and to me, all you're doing is throwing the low man on the totem pole up under the bus, and then it's protecting the big man that sat in the office and act like he didn't have anything to do with it. So, once again, justice is not being served, but we're paying millions of dollars to cover it up.
In my opinion, I think it's a form of abomination from Snyder's situation. Okay, he was aware of this several years ago. Okay. And he kept covering it up, and his little stooges that he had in place, all right, they kept covering it up, okay, and it just, they kept kicking the can down the road. So far, I think it's 15, 16 people have died. They call it Legionnaire's disease, but in my opinion, it's murder, directly related, to, I believe, the Flint drinking water, all right. I wouldn't drink that stuff if they paid me to drink it. All right, I enjoy my body, my life. Okay, I want to live a long life without all these illnesses that are documented, affecting literally tens of thousands of citizens. This is no worse than this is just as bad as as a third world country. In many ways. Denise, what are your you have any ideas on this paying Snyder all this money to pay his legal bills?
Well, I'm in agreement with Jackie. I think that we have in place a situation where when this thing first broke and the spotlight was on Flint, we received national attention, and he was able to engage some PR people to help him. And basically they just let him know that you will weather the storm, you're going to get past this, you're not going to lose your position is safe, and all you have to do is just continue to govern. And that's basically what he's done, to the detriment to the people here, because now the spotlight is basically off and people are still without good drinking water, bathing and all the rest of that. Myself personally, I live in Flint. When I cooked my Thanksgiving dinner, I had to use bottled water, a couple of cases as a matter of fact, just to prepare my meals. Every day when I get up to take care of my own personal hygiene and whatnot, I am boiling water so that I can be prepared to do that. So it has been a tremendous from a personal perspective, it has been a tremendous wearing on the person's nerves, psyche, and everything else to have to go through this. And this has become a way of life. And there are people who have medical issues and other things like that, and they're still being affected not getting the adequate supply of water, because at one point water was either being distributed or you had pickup sites. Well, those sites are also drying up. And again, because the spotlight is off, people are not getting their services and the things that they need. And what is compounding the problem is the fact that not only is this governor been insulated and isolated from all of this, that he's not even putting forth the effort to make sure that the money that has been allocated as resourceful for this community is being distributed. So that too is egregious. And so I could go on about how upset and angry and disappointed I am that no criminal charges have been levied. But again, you've got people who are in place. You have your prosecutor for the state who has, as Jackie mentioned, gone after those persons who were in place to do the job at the bottom of the rung. But there needs to be some accountability from everybody from the top down. And so I don't know how long this thing is going to take, if it ever is going to manifest itself, but I believe, quite frankly, that he is going to get away with this.
Also to add to that, I think people should, en masse, start demonstrating up in Lansing at the governor's office and Attorney General's office, shooting. Okay, Snyder lives in Ann Arbor and down by the river in a mansion. Okay, and there's been demonstrations down there in the past. I think people need to renew those efforts. Okay, it's horrendous that the way the citizens and the taxpayers, are being treated in Flint, Michigan. All right, they can talk about the filters and this and that whatnot. All right, but how many people does that cover? Okay, now why in the world do you have to get up every morning or every night? Okay, and take your showers and as Denise was saying, cleaning taking care of your personal hygiene and stuff like this here with bottled water. Okay, and then on top of that, the doggone city, they want you to pay for this poison water, and that's ridiculous. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Like Flint doesn't have enough problems in itself. Jackie, what's your thoughts?
Jackie's already
Yeah, okay. I'll make a departure from this argument. Why Governor Snyder is being paid his regular salary. That's what we're talking about, right?
No, the $4 or $5 million that the taxpayers have paid.
Okay.
His hired lawyers to represent him.
And the governor, by rights, under the law in Michigan, has been indemnified for the job that he does as governor in the state of Michigan. Every person who sits in a position of responsibility or authority on a board or commission or in a powerful seat, including the senators and representatives and other members of the body of law in Michigan, are indemnified. I am indemnified. If I were to make a stupid ruling for Clio Board of Education, and it was not I did not intend to make that schooling, it was the lack of knowledge or stupidity, whatever. I am held harmless for that. So is the governor. The governor is held harmless for that. And there's no, Denise, you're held harmless. And you probably can talk about it to no length. So you understand it, and we must have these kind of protections for people in those positions, because the critics will assure that they are doomed in those positions for making rulings that they don't agree with.
Okay. I'd like to speak to that last comment that you made about being held harmless. Okay.
Yes.
I'm one of the low men on the totem pole, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so basically, yes, I'm held to a certain standard, and if I do not meet those standards, then I can be charged and criminally.
But it's got to be criminal.
Yeah.
It cannot be.
Well, what more do you...
Hang on, it's got to be criminal. Malfeasance or stealing or doing other things.
It was for money.
Yeah,
It was for money.
Well, he was serving in the interest of the people of the state of Michigan.
No, he did it for money. He did it to
He
cut
didn't
back
say
on
he
money.
did that.
He's not going to say it.
He,
Okay, let's go back to the real situation that occurred here. What occurred, there was a series of faux pas all the way around, which started out with having an emergency manager, and they made the decision to go to the cut away from Detroit water and deal with the Flint water here. And we already knew that the Flint River was toxic. Everybody knew that. But they made a decision to say, because we're going to save a few dollars, this is what we're going to do. He was complicit in that. That's criminal.
what the governor did, that was right. First of all, he came to Flint and looked at the people who run Flint. They looked a majority of black. So he appointed a black manager to protect the interests of people who lived in the city. It was his responsibility. The city of county council, and the mayor all were responsible for water quality in the state.
No, they had
Not
no
in the
voting.
state.
They had no voting
They had no voting.
privileges.
They had
Hang on, guys.
the emergency
In the
manager
city.
took over.
Yeah.
And they
Now
had no
stop and
rights.
think about it. You guys are overlooking the major point being made here. You had a black manager that came in to rule to speak for the people.
He didn't
And
know.
No, he didn't
Hang
speak for
hang
the
on,
people.
you guys,
He
to speak for the people.
For
He
Snyder.
spoke for the governor. He reported to the governor.
In that capacity, he was serving the people of the city of Flint.
No, because they wanted him out. He served the
No,
governor.
the governor appointed him. How,
Yeah, and we
how
didn't
could the
like
people
him.
want him out?
'Cause we didn't ask for him.
But that's what you got, because you couldn't pay your bills.
No, that wasn't
And
it.
any city that can't pay the bills, the governor must move in and provide the services for the people, not for the leaders, because the leaders aren't doing what they're supposed to do. The governor has to step in by law, by
Okay,
constitution.
but when he stepped in, he got direction from the governor. He didn't get direction from council. He didn't get direction from the mayor. He got it from Governor
Yeah,
Snyder.
it was
So all
authoritative
Yeah, all
appointment.
his decisions were made from those people. City of
But
Flint.
anybody, Jackie,
No, not
Jackie,
everybody.
anybody who serves in the capacity for people must do the best job they can, and at all costs, they must protect human health and safety.
Well, they didn't do it.
I'm not, that's not what I said. I said, whoever moves into that position, you're missing the point. I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're a woman, you're a man, or whatever, monkey, or whatever. When you serve in that position, you are responsible for protecting public health and safety.
But he-
That's
he didn't do
true.
it.
That's true to a point. But here's the deal. He also, because of budgetary items, as you say,
He might have informed, yeah.
we could not pay our bills, as you say. So then he had to set up a situation where bills could be paid. So based on that, he said, well, we can't continue to work with Detroit because it's costing us too much. So
Who said that?
Governor Snyder.
I don't know whether he said that or not.
listen, he made a decision to discontinue the relationship
Who
with
made that decision?
Governor
Governor
Snyder.
I
Snyder.
don't know.
through-
Was it
Down
made
to
here in the
early,
city
down
first?
to wild.
Okay.
No.
No. Listen, there were people put in place, and we told you we had an emergency manager. The emergency manager acting under the leadership and
No
direction
governor
of.
would ever tell somebody to go into the city and poison the people.
Look,
Show it to me by
showed-
record. Show me in
listen.
writing
You're
whether
trying
the
to
governor
say
said that.
You're trying to say that he said intentionally to go in and poison the people.
Right.
This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying because of the financial constraints.
of the city.
He made a decision that he was directed to make in order to save money and make sure that the bills were paid. So therefore, he put the people at risk, health-wise and otherwise, because he made a decision to not be to continue the relationship with Detroit and deal with the water here in Flint. The Flint River is a toxic waste dump. They knew it from day one. They said we're going to filter it. And by the filtering, that's where the corrosion happened, and here we have the
Let
mess
me
that we're
ask you
in.
the same question. If you were made the manager here,
Mm-hmm.
appointed manager by the governor, and he gave you those guidelines,
What guidelines?
to go in and search for the most feasible way to bring the city back under financial control. Okay, would you have made that decision even though the governor directed you? Where you knew the outcome was to poison hundreds and hundreds of children or thousands of children with poisoning water. Would you have made that decision as a
I'm not in that position, so
No,
I can't answer
I ask you. Could you have made that decision? Or would you have said, Governor, I can't do that? That would poison people. And
that would be me.
Yeah.
I would say that, but
would
he
you
didn't.
Say, but I was asking you, would you do it?
I would not knowingly do anything that's going to hurt or harm people. I wouldn't do it.
What do you say part of the blame is?
Him.
I would not do it. I'd tell the governor where to go.
Okay,
Really?
that's what I'm looking for. You're not following me.
The
You have to
responsibility.
accept responsibility for the job that you do. You can't hand that off to anybody else. You must do the job.
But they
You
were
must say, if
instructed.
that was even if the governor had asked me, Henry Hatter, I want you to go into Flint, and I want you to go in as a financial manager, and I want you bringing the water back to regulatory quality. I want you to save money, do whatever's necessary, cut anywhere.
And
You know
that's
what I would have told the governor?
What you would have told him?
I can't do that, Governor. It poses a risk
To the
to public
people.
health and safety.
Thank you.
And that
Well,
is-
that's what we're saying.
No, you're not saying the same thing. The audience out there is listening to us very cautiously. That the EPA had already informed the governor, the Congress back in 1999, that infrastructure throughout the nation was leaking and posed a great public health risk. We knew that. We knew that 15 years earlier. Now, if the governor had asked me, Henry, go in and do this, just recklessly go in and endanger people, I would say, Governor, no, I can't do that.
He's not going to tell you recklessly
Right.
going.
Well, I am just painting it out for you, the way you may perceive this, so that I'm making a strong impact here. And I would say to the governor, Governor, Snyder, I can't do that.
But can I tell you how it really happened?
I don't know if you know how.
Yeah, I do know.
Or can I? Or I know this lackey. He'll go into Flint and.
Thank
you. Know
you.
what I mean? There's Uncle Tom and he'll
Because
go
they
in there and he don't
changed,
care.
they changed
All
test
right.
results.
Oh yeah, no, you
But
can't
they were
do that.
instructed.
That's criminal. That's
They-
criminal.
But that's what we're
Yes.
saying. It's a criminal.
I can't argue that.
They instructed them, and he knew what was going on.
I don't know whether he knew that.
They sent him all the emails. Remember,
I don't
he
know
were-
whether the governor knew
he
they were
was
changing
able
data.
to get rid of some emails. You know, you guys were so focused on Hillary's emails, you weren't checking his.
No, we
Yes.
Okay.
weren't focused.
She's right, because I looked at the emails and there were several of them that were didacted so
Yeah.
that they could not incriminate the people who were responsible
Yes.
for this horrific situation. Okay, so the responsibility should be spread across.
That's right.
With
Well,
him
then why don't we
included.
start there?
Well, this is what
to
I'm
make
saying.
it more believable.
Okay, well,
and
no.
authoritative. What
Henry.
How
more
more
realistic?
believable
Henry.
can it be when you got
Henry.
people that are dead in thousands, tens of thousands that are sick?
Oh, come on.
What
We
the hell,
don't
I
have
mean,
1,000. Maybe we had 20 or 30 people that died with a
Henry.
probable cause of something else.
Henry,
we were going to die anyway.
Henry, we're still speaking about the fact of.
pitiful.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
the responsibility of the governor. He
Yeah.
is the person in leadership.
agree.
He made the decision to have these emergency managers.
agree.
We said we didn't want them. We even
Okay,
put it on the
I agree,
ballot.
but you couldn't
And
pay
we
your
said-
bills.
We,
And the
we
people
put it
were
on the
still
ballot.
suffering as a result of the fact that you
Put it on
couldn't
the
manage.
ballot.
We
Now
put
they
it on the
passed, and
ballot,
they
and he
switched
switched it still.
Still changed it.
Changed the law. We still got stuck with an emergency
And a private
manager.
meeting.
And an emergency manager
That's why-
takes on the responsibility along with him.
Notice the governor takes responsibility.
He did.
says,
He took
I did
responsibility
it,
for
and I'll
nothing.
fix this.
He did
The
not
governor
say-
said that. He did say that.
I
They
heard
go
him
to
say
jail and
it.
fix it.
I heard him say that, but again,
Thank you.
I heard him say that, but yet still, the taxpayers are
But
still
we won't
responsible.
accept responsibility
No, no,
for the
no.
jobs that we do.
No,
Here
we
in
are
the city.
we are being penalized. People couldn't pay their bills, couldn't pay their water bills. Now you're paying for the governor so that he deals with the legality of it. What kind of sense does that
I don't
make?
know whether we're doing that.
Come on,
We don't know
Henry.
whether
This
we're
is
doing
this is what the
You
argument
guys
is
have not
about.
convinced me
It's
of that
less
yet.
money coming down to the city
The
of
gov-
Flint, more money being allotted to him to take care of him when this is a whole city in crisis and we're worried about one person. He's worried about himself.
No, I don't think the law is being followed, guys.
Also, too, we got some more information on the city of Flint, Michigan. Flint,
by the
Michigan
way,
crisis. If not for the poison water crisis gripping thousands, it's dysfunctional. It's the dysfunctional school system, surging murder and crime rates, apathy, unemployment, homelessness. City council constantly at one another's at each other. How do we change these dynamics of this once darling of a city,
Ron,
where at one time in history was a place with a bright future?
Let me quote.
Let's discuss this. What I just mentioned.
Well, that's what we're gonna do. I'm going to quote Ryan, the Speaker of the House. Here's what he said to Vice President Pence and the media on Wednesday on Capitol Hill. That was a couple days ago. Supported by notable Majority Whip Republican Scalise on Wednesday, and I quote, unquote, "We're going to address that problem in Flint, Michigan."
How many times have they said that already?
I don't know, but this is a new administration. This is a this is a Republican.
How many times have
He's been in control. Ryan is not new.
No,
How
Ryan
many times has Snyder said we were going to take care of this problem?
Hey, he just said that.
And he hasn't done nothing.
No,
But the money was held up because of him.
I don't
Why don't you
know.
go back?
I don't
He held
know.
up the bill
know.
because he didn't want anything to go through. He held up the bill. Go back and check it.
But he may have had reasons for holding the build up.
Yeah. Yeah. He
If the city was going to go into bankruptcy,
That's not why he did it. He
hang
did
on.
it because
I'm
he
not
was
so
holding.
sure. How do you know that?
Because they didn't have it on the news.
You believe everything that you read
No,
on the
but
news.
I suggest you get cable.
He wanted to maintain his
When did that come
position
out,
as-
Henry?
That came out
Speaker
in
of the
yesterday's
House.
Day
paper.
before yesterday, but
In yesterday's paper.
they wouldn't let
No.
any bills come down.
There are a lot of people who have an interest in seeing this thing not work for Black Americans. And some of us may be sitting around the table.
Oh, I
You
wouldn't
don't-
doubt
Well,
that.
hang on. You gotta let this guy get the job done.
How long is it gonna take?
I don't know how long it's gonna take.
People gotta have to continue to die.
The government does not run at your pace. It runs its own pace.
But he made
And
sure he had
Ryan
enough
said,
money for his
"We
stuff."
will fix this problem."
Yeah, when?
Yeah.
You can always
And
say,
he will
I'm gonna
have the
fix
money
something.
before the end of the year.
Okay, the end of the year is coming.
Yeah,
we
well,
got what?
28
but
days.
we need to work for our people. We need to inspire
We need
decisions
to
that help.
educate. We need to educate our people because now we got another health crisis with the city
Can I
water.
just focus on
Now, because
this?
I need to tell them this. Just let me tell them this. Because we don't have running water, people are not washing their hands, and people are not using water.
They weren't washing their hands before we had the
my
crisis.
That is
No,
not
but
true.
now
And
what
many
it is,
doctors were not
you got
washing their
bacteria.
hands.
It's a very bad bacteria that's out there. You have to wash your hands with water. You have to bathe with
Gee
water.
whiz.
Even
Yes.
if you do as Denise said and use boiled water, whatever you do, you cannot just use wipes.
I don't believe this, what I'm hearing.
You better believe
If
it.
better
you-
believe it.
if you
Ask,
get-
ask many people on the street.
if
You
you-
wash your hands every time you go in the bathroom or every time you, before you eat? They'll
Yes.
say, "Are you kidding?"
Do you?
That's why you got the bacteria.
There's some people here that are suffering, and there's a disease that it's called, and I can't call the name of it.
Celiac something.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's really serious.
Yeah,
okay,
it attacks your digestive system.
and it causes some abdominal pain, diarrhea, the whole thing. So it's very
So we
serious.
have a parasite or
yeah,
bacteria.
yeah, okay, but
Bacterial
this
infection.
this
It's not a virus.
yeah, it's an infection.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, it all stems from this whole thing about the
Water.
water crisis, because people are afraid to wash their hands.
Yeah.
Well, they need to step up and take responsibility to wash their hands
Anyway,
with the water that's available to them.
See, it's easy.
But see, when I come into Flint, I drink the water wherever I find it. If I'm having coffee, I have no idea whether I'm drinking the water out of this sewage here, which I smell whenever it comes in, or whether I'm drinking water from Detroit. I have no idea, and nobody can convince me. As a matter of fact, when you go in a restaurant and you drink the water, they say, "Oh, we got to have a filter," and so on and so forth. But you know how vulnerable filters are if people don't change them?
Right.
Yeah, so what's this? Why are we afraid to use the water? And besides, people who use the water should pay taxes. They should pay their water bills to support the city, or it will never crawl out of the hole.
They're paying the sewer bill, right? Am I right?
Well, we need to pay the water bill.
But the
because
businesses are having to pay all of it.
You're
Listen,
driving the city in the wrong direction.
we
if
might be
you're not
driving
paying.
the city in the wrong direction,
Yeah.
as
They
you
drove
say.
us.
But I tell you this right here: everyone who is responsible should have some accountability.
I agree. I agree.
Including the governor,
that's
and
right.
that's the point in all
The
Maybe.
this.
governor has already said that he's going to do his part.
He's not.
Well, let's hope that he does. Okay, quick and in a hurry. All right, he should go. Should be the first one to go to jail. All right, and I fought also to quit playing politics with the attorney general with these people. All right, let's send a message out here so it never happens again. Okay, if we don't do something about it and make a stink, it's going to continue. Okay, this water crisis has been around for
2 years.
longer than that. All right.
At least two. At
Okay,
least two.
that they knew of.
Right.
All right. But with that, this has been a very wonderful conversation, and hopefully Flint will heal, and the people responsible will go to prison. And again, that includes Snyder. All right. And I wish that you could recall Attorney General Schuette as well. But unfortunately, you can't do that.
Why don't we work with them?
In this democratic system. With that, this is Ronald Barry Robinson and friends saying, until next time, stay focused.